was never supposed to live a life like this. Though it's way too good, not as rich as I should.
What's up, Dolphin fans? Welcome to the Fin Zone. Yeah, I'm sure you've all heard about the news today. So, to discuss this with me, I have no other than my good friend, B. Trill, host of Finn's Football Podcast. Hey, Trill, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, my dude? Woo! The Dolphins know how to keep it interesting. They know how to keep us on our toes, man. I'm doing good. I'm taking in all the news. You know, I'm going through the feelings right now. So, but yeah, it's good. Thanks to having me back on here. You know, always a good time to come on here. We always chat it up. We always end up running over on time. We'll cut the video and we'll keep chatting. We'll keep it going. So much to always talk about. Always love coming on here.
No doubt about it. All right, man. So let's get right into it. Today we heard the news. Mike D out of there. Are you surprised? Two questions. Are you surprised that they fired him? And if not, are you surprised they waited till today to do it?
Yes. I mean, here, it is Thursday. It's not Black Monday. It's not the Monday where majority of all the coaches got the can. Yeah, John Harbaugh, he waited a couple extra days, but the fact that it's not Black Monday, it took this long, and he was already come out with reports he's going to help with the GM search, and, you know, he's already doing his exit interviews and telling players the off-season plans and what we're going to do next season, and he was shocked. Everybody was shocked. Yeah, Miami always sending waves.
To say the least, right? No pun intended, but they're always sending waves, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, so let me ask you this, because I really want to get your take on this. Do you think them announcing his being fired today has anything to do with the news of Harbaugh being fired a day or two ago?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it has 100% to do with John Harbaugh being fired, because again, we were ready for Mike McDaniel to start his offseason. He mentioned that he was going to be involved in the GM search, and then all of a sudden the whispers came in. There's some good memes out there of Ross in the interviews with the GMs and just getting the whisper of the ear, John Harbaugh is available. Oh, okay, all right. Well, we're ready to sound the alarms, and gotta have a conversation with Mike. And you know, it's crazy, but yeah. And then the reports coming out of, you know, Mike McDaniel. They didn't want to start talking to John Harbaugh until we got rid of Mike McDaniel. And, you know, Stephen Ross already got in trouble with tampering before and things like that. Start off with a clean slate before you start moving on to the next one. So.
Yeah. My only thing about all of this, okay, Mike D, see you later. Especially if we can get a coach of the caliber of Harbaugh. Yeah. I just know we've been down this road before with these Harbaughs, is all I'm saying. if you recall a while back. Yeah, what old Jimbo did. He just used us for leverage so he can get that 49ers job.
Yeah, no, it is a tough road. But first, I do kind of want to speak on Mike McDaniel himself.
Okay.
Because I'm not 100% where I'm like, yes, I'm happy, let's get rid of him. I am, yes, happy, let's start a change. But the thing is that he brought a lot of excitement. Stuff that we haven't seen in years. It has been a long time that I was excited to wake up and watch our team play on Sunday. And he brought that with his offensive mind. There was a lot of downfalls, though. The thing about Mike McDaniel is that he can never get the play call out in time. He had too many motions. There was too many pre-snap penalties. And then with all the motion, that called illegal shifts. And then his clock management before the half, at the end of the game, when we needed urgency, there wasn't urgency. When we had a good run game going, he would abandon the run. When we had a player that was hot, he would stop giving them the ball. It was tough. He had a lot of pluses, but there was just some red flags. I just like, you're not an offensive coach, man. You're not a head coach. You're an offensive coordinator.
Right, and I mean, let's not forget about all the wasting of the timeouts, having to burn the timeouts because the plays weren't in time. In previous years, it wasn't, maybe a little bit this year, but in previous years, it was like always, we're so good, there's never a sense of urgency. You ever notice that? Plenty of games how they would come off all slow and sluggish, not even looking like they were ready to play. Then all of a sudden, when the game's almost out of reach, then they want to start playing football. Exactly. I got tired of that. Like, he never had his team ready, prepared from the rip. Like, that was always the issue with him.
A lot of preparation. And if you think about it, I mean, I can count at least, a handful of games where we were one play away that shifted either the momentum or ended up with a completely different result of us losing the game. I mean, think about the Zach Sealer roughing the punter call.
Roughing the punter,
Think
yeah.
about Devon Achane stepping out of bounds. Think about just a lot of mental mistakes, and just a lot of it you can only point at coaching. That, the players, for the most part, were in position. The ladder, the thing that tips it is the coaching, and it wasn't there. He was an offensive coordinator. He was. He's
a darn good one, but that's what he is. Yeah. He's an offensive coordinator. Speaking of what you were just talking about, the one play away, that's what happened Sunday against the Patriots. They were in that game until they threw that red zone interception. And from that point on, it was all downhill.
Yeah, it shifts the momentum, and we saw a lot this season where either Miami was driving and they made a big play, like I can a couple over the middle waddle catches and 30-yard catch, and then it's called back on holding. Yep. Or it's called back on illegal man downfield, or just a stupid play that could have changed the entire game. That could have put Miami in a better position to win the game. And because of the coaching, it lacked. It wasn't just the play call, but you got to think, how many times did we snap the huddle and start jogging to the line with 8 seconds left and still had to get motions in, still had to get set?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
Every play. And it's like, even when we're in supposedly hurry up offense, we were snapping the ball with 3 seconds left on the clock, and it's like, no, that's the opposite.
Yeah. Do you recall that one game when they were supposed to be in 2-minute offense, and it was like the most horriblest I've ever seen? What game was that? It was one recently. They were just slow and dragging. Like, where's your sense of urgency? I mean, was it the Steelers game maybe?
I think it was, where you just saw that they just didn't care, and then all of a sudden they waited until it was like a 3-score game. Then they started playing with urgency. It's like, no, it's a little too late now. Like, everything was a little too late with the whole team, I guess.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think it was the Steelers game when they were going into halftime. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. And that was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. It's like you said, it was like they didn't care.
No, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's frustrating as a fan. Ooh.
Yeah, I see it. They just scored. Yep. Yeah, it's like you said, it's tough as a fan to have to go through this over and over and over again. But with that being said, right now, at this very moment, I have high hopes.
Yeah.
Now, am I just being a typical Dolphin fan when I say this?
Of course. We're
like,
optimistic.
Like, or does this really warrant high hopes right now? I don't know.
A rebuild is a fresh start. It's very bittersweet because of the fact of how exciting our team was and how explosive the offense was. But the offense and the defense never got really on the same page. They strung some wins together, but it wasn't enough to get over the hump. And that's what's bittersweet about it, but also that's what's good with the change is that we know we kind of have been in denial since 2023 of this is a Super Bowl winning team when we knew we made the offseason transactions way too late. We're putting our team together in August, it seemed like. And it was a little too late. Our secondary didn't come together in time. Our offensive line just wasn't meshing. And that's why we got rid of Chris Greer. But to now get rid of Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel and get a fresh start and to think what we could have, to think of different possibilities. That's always what you get excited about is it's a lottery pick when you have like for a bunch of first-round draft picks. Well, right now, we have a bunch of empty slots. What are we going to fill? Chris Greer did a lot of stuff. Not to keep bringing him up, but the fact that he brought excitement. He got the Tyreek Hill in. He got the Jalen Ramsey in. He got the Bradley Chubb in. He made those excited transactions because he wanted the Super Bowl, and that was the high hopes that we have. Now, are we going to bring in Alexander as GM? With those whispers, are we going to bring in Harbaugh? Are we going to? I mean, what are we going to do at quarterback? Do we draft? Do we wait for the 2027 draft? Do we try to go out there and get maybe another splash with Burrow? Maybe Lamar. You know the ties, but I saw tension in the media. I saw. I thought Lamar Jackson was,
Looked like they were kind of beefing a little bit, right?
Yeah. I thought it would have brought more ties to bring him to Miami, which he's got ties to Miami too. Because, he is a Florida boy. So, with all that, it's high expectations at the moment. High hopes, high ceilings. Because we know Ross, he's willing to open up that checkbook. The thing is he going to make the right decisions? He's not going to please everybody. There's people out there that have their favorites. They have their quarterback that they have in mind, whether it's keep Tua, whether it's keep Ewers, whether it's draft their quarterback, whether it's make a trade. Everyone has a favorite. Same thing with head coach. Are we going to get Harbaugh? A lot of people are saying that's the wrong John. Some people
I've heard it.
After Chucky.
I've heard it. Honestly, I'm happy with either one of those guys.
It's kind of how I look at it because, again, we're Dolphins fans. We're very optimistic. When Miami had a boatload of draft picks in 2020, and we made a bunch of mistakes by getting, Austin Jackson, who kind of just can't stay healthy. Noah was the biggest whiff, even though this man is still like, I think he's like 23 years old. Like he's still
young. Yeah.
No, you got to think about it. 2020, he was 19, so he's 24 years old right now.
Yeah.
And he actually looks decent for Washington right now. But it's all about the what ifs, the possibilities that gets it exciting. I even told my girl, I said, listen, I might be putting out a lot of podcasts in the next couple of days. We're probably going to have a GM announced tomorrow. We're probably going to have a coach announced next week.
Yep.
With that, lots of content of what ifs.
No doubt about it. One more question for you, bro.
Yes.
You touched on this a little bit, but I want you to dive a little bit deeper into it. What do the Dolphins do with Tua? Do they keep him? Do they let him go? Do they try and trade?
So, we see what happened with Tyreek. Tyreek came out with the comments at the end of the season. This could be another Tyreek saga because Tua said it's dope. It would be dope, and he would be fine with that as in moving on to another team.
Right.
With right now, obviously, we're benching him, trying out a rookie. We don't have high hopes for Tua anymore. I don't know if the concussions and the injuries and everything's setting in, or the NFL is figuring out his offense, but we got to move on. He's happy for a fresh start. The thing about it is the money.
The money.
When do we move on? How do we move on? Do we keep him for another year as a backup, a bridge, a starter? We got to cut ties, but I think we're going to eat so much money. But with that, we have a 7th-round quarterback to help us along the way. So
there you go.
Yeah, we gotta cut ties.
Yeah, that's what I say too. And most likely it's going to be that June 1st cut.
Yes.
That's probably when it's going to be. You know what I mean? Then we'll take that hit, we'll extend it over to 2 years and move on from there. And then who knows? Somebody might just pick him up because he'll be a freebie at that point.
Yeah. When we're paying majority of his salary, and he does have potential when he's healthy and when he's got an offensive line.
Yep. Yeah, that's probably what's going to be the situation with Tua. That is it. All right, man, we can wrap this up. I didn't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to get your thoughts because there's a lot going on in Miami. But before we do go, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit me with a Fin Zone banger, bro. I know you got one.
I don't want to be too predictable. I'm going to go with John Harbaugh is announced next week as our head coach. Alexander is announced as our GM. But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Our quarterback next season. I say we draft someone high. 1st or 2nd round. And bring in a vet. And have Ewers. That's the QB competition going into the offseason. I think John Harbaugh, he's not going to wait around. The man's 63 years old. I think he is going to unleash a fierce competition. When I say bring in a vet, could be Jameis Winston, but I think someone bigger. I think Ross opens up his checkbook, maybe even give up some draft picks. Could be a Burrow, could be a Jackson, as in Lamar. Who knows what we do, but I say as of right now, a vet, a 1st or 2nd round draft pick, and Ewers will be our QB room next season. That's the Fin Zone banger.
All right, I hear that. A 3-way QB competition. I'm all about that because you know what? It's been a long time since Miami had a QB competition. It's been a long time. Long overdue.
Fitzpatrick? No, I'm just...
Trill. Always a pleasure, my guy. Appreciate you coming through tonight, especially on such short notice. And I'm sure we will do this again.
Of course, as always, yes. Thank you for bringing me on. Yeah, when the news drops, we got to hit the mics and talk about it. So, lots of splashes in Miami, and we got to spread our thoughts and hope for the best. Like I said,
that's all we can do.
Slots to see what Miami does and rolls the dice, and hopefully we hit the jackpot.
I hear that one.
My lifetime.
I hear that, man. Hey, right now the future looks mighty bright. Let's just hope it stays moving in the same direction. And once again, everybody, thanks for joining us in the Fin Zone, and we will see you next time.